Hey, what's happening? It is Saturday morning, snowing here in Indianapolis, but we get to go racing today. So I'm here at Fast Times Indoor Karting. We've got the Race 92 Charity Pro-Am Go-Kart race this morning, and looking forward to racing with some pretty good guys. We've got Logan Seavey, two-time Chili Bowl champ. Kevin Thomas Jr. is doing this. Justin Grant, last year's USAC Sprint Car champion. Couple guys, Stingray Robb, Kyle Kaiser, that have both been veterans of the Indy 500. Couple Indy Lights guys. So yeah, we got a pretty good field of pro drivers and probably some pretty good amateur drivers as well. So let's go racing. Here we are at the drivers meeting, getting ready to go. Tell you a little bit about the format for the race today. 8 teams, 10 pros. 2 teams got 2 pros. I was paired on one of the teams with 2 pros, Team Good Times. And so for today's race, we are going to be racing for $2,000, courtesy of Bailey & Woods, to the winning pro drivers charities. Let's go ahead and introduce you to some of the members of Team Good Times and get ready for the start of the race. All right, I am here with Chen. We are 2 members of Team Good Times. Chen, tell us a little bit about yourself. What do you do for a living? Where are you from?
So I'm born and raised in Hawaii.
Cool.
Been in Indy for about 10 years now. And so Scott Bowie actually got me interested in racing about maybe 5 or 6 years ago. So I'm still learning, don't really know much, but I have a lot of fun.
Well, you're teamed with an Indy 500 veteran and a crusty old sprint car racer, so hope that we do good today. Looks like the race is getting pretty close to starting here. Comes the conclusion of the pace lap. Team Good Times is starting 7th. We elected to put Kyle Kaiser in this cart for the first stint of the race, and the green flag is out. So Kyle was busy throwing it down there and driving us from 7th to 2nd or 3rd, and was quick. This is Kyle Kaiser, 2-time Indy 500 veteran.
Yep.
Currently pushing the desk job and pushing Team Good Times forward. So Kyle, tell us a little bit about yourself and where you're from. How'd you end up in Indiana? And a little bit about your racing stuff.
Yeah, so I grew up in Santa Clara, California, so born and raised there. After graduating high school, wanted to pursue my career in motorsports, so picked up and left at 18 and moved out to Indianapolis. Moved right downtown in Riley Towers for the first couple of years and ended up buying a condo on the north side, and I've been there for the last 8 years now. For the first few years, I was doing the Road to Indy program, so started in Pro Mazda actually, because I took a few years off of racing. So once I moved out here, started in Pro Mazda, ended up working my way to Indy Lights. 2017, won the championship in Indy Lights, and that's what got me an IndyCar. Got to do as many races as I could, scrapping sponsorship together. I think a lot of drivers can relate to that. So did the 500 and a few other races in 2017, and then the 500 in 2018.
That's awesome, man. And tell us a little bit about Nextech, which is your charity of choice for this event.
Yeah, so I've done a lot of work with Nextech over the years. So now, post-racing career, I work at High Alpha as a financial analyst, which is very tech involved. We invest in a lot of B2B SaaS companies here in the Indianapolis area. One of the founders of High Alpha was the founder of ExactTarget, which spun out Nextech. So a lot of what they do is they try to spread computer science knowledge to a lot of kids K through 12 throughout the state of Indiana. My fiance's mom actually runs their program that helps get a lot of the kids through the Catapult program, teaching them and educating them on computer science. So I've done a lot of speaking engagements with them, and I think that what they're doing is amazing. You look at the number of schools in Indiana that don't offer a lot of computer science education programs, them being able to fill that gap is huge for a lot of kids needing access to that information.
Yeah, so that's awesome, Kyle. Kind of cool how that worked out. Obviously, our partner is SkillsUSA, so our team, Team Good Times, is definitely racing to help young people have good times ahead of them. So hopefully we can do them well and earn these organizations some money today. Chester, where are you from?
Antwerp, Ohio.
And you were, how did you end up doing this race? How did you find out about it?
I do members nights here at Fast Times Karting. I've done it the past couple of years. It's the only racing I really do. I just come down here, have a good time. My brother got me into it a couple of years ago after my dad passed away, and just been loving it. So I just come down here, saw they were doing it, and figured might as well give it a shot. So
awesome. This is Jacob. He is another member of Team Good Times. Jacob, where are you from?
So I'm from up north here in Cicero.
And how did you get involved in this race?
So I know Stingray. He invited me out, and I'm actually doing some merchandise for him this year.
Sweet. So here we are getting ready to go out on my first stint of the race. It was the 5th stint overall. This was a pro stint for the most part. So we've got all the fast guys here. Kevin Thomas Jr., Speedy Dan Clark is up there. Logan Seavey's in this group. Christian Pericarpi's in this group. And we're green, coming past start finish into a double right-hander that runs down the hill. A tricky left-hander at the bottom. You got to hang to the inside there. I didn't catch it very well. Double left, our cart had a push and I had to lift there into the hairpin. Managed to sneak past Pericarpi here and continue the chase. The first stint, Kyle managed to take us from 7th to 2nd. In the second stint, we were involved in an altercation and lacked a little bit of pace, so we ended up losing 2 laps. At this point, I believe we're running 6th or 7th, and we're 2 laps down, trying to fight our way back in. The goal for this stint is to stay out of trouble, make ground, and if possible, try to sneak a lap back, but most importantly, try not to lose another one. So I hadn't been to Fast Times in a while, and started this stint off a little rough. Just didn't have great timing, didn't have the flow of the track, and it took us a little while to get going. But anyway, it was a great event, and big thanks to Bailey and Woods Mortgages for sponsoring the event so that $2,000 could go to the winning charity as I built the inside wall. But $2,000 went to the winning charity. In our case, that would be SkillsUSA Indiana and Nextech splitting the $2,000 if we were able to win. Avoid that problem. So far, we're not making a ton of ground, but we're succeeding in staying out of trouble. But big thanks to Bailey and Woods for sponsoring the race. Thank you to the Racer to Racer guys for including us in it. Back to green. I threw the GoPro on my helmet before this stint and didn't get a chance to check the angle, so I apologize that the view's mostly of my hands as we watch KTJ and Dan Clark going at it here into the hairpin. Around the bottom section of the track, up the hill, across start finish. Here we're chasing Kevin Thomas Jr., Dan Clark. I can't quite make out who that is up in the next couple spots. I think it might be Seavey in 2 carts or 3 carts in front of us. Coming up the top of the hill here, I get a little wide. Pericarpi gives me a shove, and through he goes. So here we get chasing again. Looks like KTJ's made it around Dan Clark, and Dan Clark back around KTJ in the hairpin. On up the hill. Starting to get smoothed out and cut a little bit nicer laps, even though we're fighting in traffic, and KTJ spins out in front of Pericarpi and bounces back and blocks me. I was able to use that to get back around Christian but KTJ's put some distance on us. That was kind of the way this went. The pros were pretty brutal. Most of us were fairly close in pace, and it really came down to consistency, and it was more decided by your bad laps than your good laps, because it was so hard to make distance. As you can see here, we were running down Kevin, and that little incident and the time we lost, you just can't make it up very quick. Little mistake there, and Christian's back inside me. So he gives a hand signal here shortly, and I agreed with his assessment of the situation that we should just quit fighting each other and start focusing on cutting laps and trying to make some time. So we get going pretty good here, and we do run down this group in front of us before the end of the stint, but unfortunately we got checkered before we were able to start picking our way through. Anyway, we don't have video of the second stint, so I'll just tell you what happened there. Team Good Times had gotten our 2 laps back, and I got in the cart 6th on the lead lap. Had a pretty good run through the first 4 or 5 laps of the stint, and was able to pass 3 guys and go from 6th to 3rd. It was the second to last stint of the race, so there was a fairly good number of talented guys in the carts trying to bring them home, and was able to run 3rd for the majority of the stint. Late in the stint, I made a little mistake, and a guy wedged his way past us, so handed the cart back to Kyle to run anchor for us to the finish in 4th place. I'll let you watch a couple more laps here as we're chasing down the group in front of us. Checking behind to see if anybody was close by, and we had clear sailing behind us, so knew that we could just focus on cutting laps and trying to go forward.
Yeah. I didn't mean to hit you. I was like,
Well, it's all right, man.
Forward, I got I like KT by.
You started, dude. I was gonna do anything to win that race. I just wanted an opportunity to get within striking distance, but.
So the race just ended, and Kyle put the last stint in. I got us to 4th in my last stint from, I think, 6th.
Yeah.
Gave 3rd away like maybe 2 minutes to go in the stint, so handed him the cart back in 4th, and he made a valiant effort, got us to 2nd, just wasn't close enough to try to put a flyer on for the win. It was a great event, a lot of fun. Happy to be a part of it. And thank you to the Race 92 podcast guys for putting it on, Fast Times Indoor Karting, and our awesome team here, Team Good Guys, or Good Times. Good Guys, Good Times.
Good guys having good times.
So thanks for watching. Well, I just got home from the indoor kart race this morning. First of all, had a good time, and want to thank Bailey and Woods for sponsoring a pretty cool event. A $2,000 donation for the winning charity is no small feat, and definitely want to thank them for doing it. Thank the Racer to Racer podcast guys for putting the event on. I think I misnamed the podcast at the beginning. Thank them for including me in it. It was cool. Second sucks. We did our best, and we tried to get the W, but just came up short. I don't know. There's just no way around it, I guess. Peek inside the mind of a racer, and we're competitive. And it just, it's a bummer to know that that kind of money was on the line, and we didn't get the job done for SkillsUSA and Nextech. But it is what it is, and we'll keep getting ready for the coming race season. And thank you all for watching this video. Till next time, we'll bid you goodbye and see you soon.